good day to you, sir. In this video, we would like to presenting in our group assignment ACC407. Before we start with our group presentation, allow me to introduce myself as well as fellow my group mates. My name is Fatina Joanohani, the first presenter, and the next presenter is Nofatia Abika, and followed by Nofarahin, Nurul Ain Afrina, and the last one is Suraya Arifin, who assists us to proceed with this assignment. Let me start with my presentation. Start with introduction. In this group project assignment, we are here to form our own business company using accounting principle. Accounting is an essential part of any business. Financial services are required to manage the other aspect and activity of a business. Without proper financial management, it is impossible to run a business efficiently. The preparation of financial statement is critical for tracking a company's financial situation during a given accounting period. To find out the actual financial performance of the firm, financial statement must comply with strict rules. The next slide is the business background. The Coffee Conclave is a great option for coffee lovers looking for a new spot. People don't want something similar to Search Venue, Foursquare, Instagram, or any other similar company. For something like the present, all people require is a good cup of coffee. The Coffee Conclave sole ownership SME is the most traditional type of business structure in Malaysia and is owned by a single individual. It's simple to set up and can be complete in under an hour. Due to the absence of auditing process and listed company requirement, annual service costs are minimal. The following slide given to the next presenter, Fatiha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Nofatia Afika. So, I will continue explain about next topic, which is business characteristic. So, we have 7 points. So, I will explain to you one by one. So for the number 1 is single ownership. Single ownership, that means owned by one individual. So the individual supply the total capital from on his wealth or from borrow funds. Okay, the number 2 is one man control. The owner take all decision pertain to the business. He is not required to consult anybody. The point number 3 is no legal entity. So no legal entity separate from that it owner. The law make no decision between the proprietor and his business. The point number 4 is unlimited liability. So the owner are liability able for all the debt of the business. Next, the point number 5, no profit sharing. So, he bears to complete risks and there is nobody to share the profit and loss. The point number 6 is small size. So, basically the scale of operation carried on by a sole proprietorship is generally small. So tender can arrange a limited fund and managerial ability. The point number 7 is no legal formalities. So that means no legal formalities are required to start, manage, and dissolve a sole trader business. Okay, next we continue with classification of business item. Okay, so for the first item, okay, we have the asset. So asset for this business is coffee machine, stalls, chairs, tables, coffee grinder, and also have a caravan. Alright, so number 2 is liabilities. So liabilities for this owner is coffee bean supplier and milk stock supplier. So this owner are new joiner for this business, so he need to pay for these 2 item. Okay, next the point number 3 is the owner was pay 30,000 ringgit cash to start this business. Alright, so number 4 is revenues within 6 months of operation. Okay, already turned in about 80% of the capitals. Next is expenses. So the expenses are divided to 2 types. For the first one, we have a daily expenses, and then we have the weekly expenses. So let me explain one by one. For the daily expenses, such as milk, ice cube, and cake. And then next, the weekly expenses is coffee bean, cocoa powder, also the matcha powder. Okay, that's all from me. So I will pass this to the next presenter, is Nur Farahin.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, I'm Nur Farahin binti Mak Johan. Now I'm going to explain the recording process of the business according to accounting cycle. There are 7 steps of accounting cycle, which are source document, journal entry, general ledger, trial balance, accounting adjustment, closing entry, and final account. Source document is the original record containing the detail to substantiate the transaction entered in an accounting system. This document include bank statement, receipt, and invoice. The Coffee Conclave keep the record of every single of document that have been made through the transaction within their book of prime entries. Encik Amir is the owner of the Coffee Conclave, made the record of inventory and keep in the books, and also in a simple Excel, as known as most traditional form of business structure in Malaysia. This process helps to prevent the record from get damaged or lost. Journal entry. A journal is a detailed account that record all the financial transaction in the business and will be used for future reconciling of and transfer to other official accounting record. Journal can be classified into the general journal, purchase journal, sales journal, return inward journal, cash payment, and receipt journal. Encik Amir was practice the appropriate journal to record their financial transaction of their raw material purchases. After the transaction are recorded in the journal, the total will be posted in the appropriate account in the ledger. A general ledger account is an account or record used to sort and store balance sheet and income statement transaction. General ledger account include the asset account such as cash, account receivable, inventory, investment, land, and equipment. Encik Amir will record account payable ledger that purchase from any goods in credits in form of dirty accounts. Encik Amir use general ledger because it can report real revenue and expenses rather than forecasted values. Trial balance. A trial balance is a bookkeeping worksheet in which the balances of all ledger are compiled into debit and credit account column totals that are equal. Usually, a company prepares a trial balance periodically at the end of every reporting period. The trial balance for the Coffee Conclave will be settled at the end of the accounting period in 1 month. The purpose is to check whether transactions made by shop have been recorded correctly in the books of account. The detail in trial balance must be done properly, which is the debit and credit must be balanced to prove accuracy of accounting entries in ledger. Accounting adjustment. Accounting adjustment is a business transaction that has not yet been included in the accounting record of a business as of a specific date. Adjustments are also made at the end of an accounting period for accruals and prepayments of revenue and expenses, doubtful debt, and depreciation. The coffee conclave differing the recognition of revenue that has been billed but has not yet been earned. It helped the shop to keep the book in order and match the revenues and costs to period in which they can earn or incur them. Closing entries. Closing entries are journal entries made at the end of an accounting period which transfer the balance of temporary account to permanent account. Closing entries are based on the account balance in an adjusted trial balance. The coffee conclave are used current account to keep all the profit to earn more interest. Final account. Final account is a somewhat archaic bookkeeping term that refers to the final trial balance at the end of an accounting period for which the financials. It includes all the journal entries used to close the books, such as wage and payroll tax accruals. The total balance for the coffee conclave book of original entries and ledger will be calculated for their financial statement. The following slide I will pass to Nurul Ain Afrina. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Ain Afrina. Now I will present you about the strength and weakness of single ownership. I will talk about the strength first. For the first point is easy organization, because establishing single ownership is relatively easy and the legal requirements are minimal. Secondly is complete control. Having only one owner with complete control of the firm eliminates the chance of conflicts during the decision on the menu, the prices, and the salaries to employees. Thirdly, lower taxes, because earning in sole businessship are considered personal income. They may be subject to lower taxes than those imposed on other forms of business ownership. Lastly, total decision making authority, because the sole ownership controls the operations. He or she can respond quickly to changes, which is an asset in rapidly shifting market. Now I will talk about the weakness of sole ownership. First point are the single ownership incurs all losses. A single ownership do not have to share the profits. They cannot share any losses that the firm incurs. Secondly, limited liability. A single ownership is subject to unlimited liability, which means there is no limit on the debts for which the owner is liable. For third point is limited skills. A single ownership has limited and may be unable to control all parts of the business. Lastly, limited funds. A sole ownership may have limited funds available to invest in the firm. In conclusion, a single ownership is a business that can be owned and controlled by an individual, a company, or a limited liability partnership. There are no partners in the business. The legal status of a single business-ship can be defined as follows. It is not separate legal entity from the business owner. Other than that, a single ownership makes us easily and quickly makes a decisions and authority. And that's all for our group presentation. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.